Yesterday, I was watching a video by Mike Winger. Never finished it, probably should at some point. But in the video, I think he was kind of advocating for and encouraging Christians to get involved as kind of a reform element within the Republican Party and maybe getting involved in politics more. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that per se. This is by way of what I think of as a balancing act or a kind of a counterpoint or a reminder. Um, Again, not necessarily disagreeing. If you've watched me for a while, you know that I try, perhaps ineptly, to stay out of politics. I think that's appropriate for me. But I accept that my position would be far harder to maintain if there weren't people willing to get involved. I enjoy the provisions that we enjoy in this country, right? And those exist because at some point someone was saying, "Hey, this is what we feel conscientiously about. Could you make a concession or a policy that allows for this religious freedom or whatever in the law?" And I think that can be a good thing. I think Christians can do a lot of good in politics. And I also accept that social and political issues are not disconnected. If you create a country where blank becomes a social norm and a social like accepted thing, then there are probably going to be laws made about that. If people are saying we feel conscientiously about this, then this is probably going to be put into law at some point. That being said, let's try to think biblically about this. Right? Uh, sorry, that's Mike Winger's thing. Um, let's try to think biblically about this. I think there is a belief that perhaps is held, and I think I've been guilty of this myself, that we kind of need the U.S. to exist. We need a benevolent and like-minded government having our back, and I don't know to what extent, if you look at the Bible, that is borne out. Christianity has always done well existing in hostile environments. In fact, it's thrived in such environments. So I don't really think that we need a like-minded government. Like I don't think we need their patronage really um, for evangelization to work. In addition to that, if you look at the life and ministry of Jesus Christ, he didn't really seem overly concerned with setting up political dynasties. My kingdom is not of this world. My kingdom were of this world. Yada yada yada. Right? Um, I think that Christianity was and perhaps should remain a primarily social movement and try to affect change in that way. It's perhaps more indirect, but I think it's far more effective in general, and it doesn't risk the corruption of political movements. And I think maybe the moral of this, what I'm trying to say for the kind of the larger message here, I would hate to see Christianity denigrated to the status of like a theocratic tool, a means to power instead of an ends that is good in and of itself, if that makes sense. So hopefully Mike Winger and anyone else who watches this can take it in the spirit in which it's given. It's not I think you're wrong and I think you're terrible for thinking what you think. It's more of a gentle reminder, a gentle and loving reminder. That's me, gentle and loving. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please press the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to.